Neon Chrome is a top-down shooter with roguelite elements that comes out on April 26, 2016 on Steam for $14.99. Can the developers behind Crimsonland strike with another solid title? That's what I'm here to find out, but before I begin, this key was obtained from the developer for review purposes, but won't change my opinion of the game in the end. The basic premise for the game is a dystopian future, where people are measured via a trust score. If that trust score ever measures as red, well, they are eliminated for the good of mankind. You know, because the best way to get people to trust the Supreme Overlord is through merciless killing. Luckily, you're an elite hacker that attempts to fight this regime by hacking into and awakening assets, aka soldiers, to fight this evil corporation. It's your job to try to take down the Overseer before more innocents are killed. But if your guy goes down, that's okay, because you've got another 100 or so waiting in the wings. You do that by making your way up the Neon Chrome Tower, shooting through enemies floor by floor, and getting to the elevator exit. After a set of 4 to 6 floors, you'll find a boss, and if you're able to take him down, you'll be able to start at that floor the next time around. So, the typical roguelite structure here. Now, arsenal-wise, you have your standard weapon variety here, in shotguns, assault rifles, and SMGs, and each of them have their own damage, accuracy, and miscellaneous stats. The hero you awaken will also have a special active ability, such as launching a rocket at your opponent's face. In addition, he will have a unique attribute depending on his class, such as the ability to hack into special terminals or crates, or a shield that will take a chunk of damage that you receive from the front. You can use a controller or the keyboard and mouse, but I'd go with the accuracy of the mouse on this one. That's mostly because you don't have a burst movement ability such as a dodge roll. Either way, you have a decent set of controls here, which is important for the kind of sniping shots that you'll want to take to keep your assets safe. So, where does the game shine? Well, surprisingly, strategy. In particular with destructible environments and flanking. Now note, I'm a sucker for destructible environments in games, but I do love the implementation here. Enemies take double damage when being attacked from behind, and being able to bust through a wall and get the advantage is key in getting through levels with minimal damage taken. And while enemy AI isn't necessarily the greatest and can be exploited to a certain extent, their aggressive nature can give you a lot of problems, especially if the game calls in reinforcements or throws a curveball at you on a specific floor. That combination makes for some great gameplay, as slow and methodical play all of a sudden gives way to panic, as the reinforcements aren't just a couple of guys. Try 15 to 20 of them. The game is difficult, in particular with the boss fights. Health is scarce, and mistakes are reasonably punished, especially when it comes to explosives, so if you're looking for a challenge, Neon Chrome, it delivers. I do think there's a couple of tweaks that need to be made, however, in particular with this one boss, because the rate of the shield regeneration is far too high for both him and the hero who has that shield ability. And just look at this. The game also does a good job of rewarding exploration and the amount of time you're able to stay alive. In each run you can collect credits, and when you die, you can spend them on upping your base stats, such as health and luck, and buy specific equipment to start a run with. But in a run, you'll find enhancements to upgrade your assets significantly, along with finding new weapons along the way. And I do enjoy the weapon upgrade system here. It's not like your typical loot systems. Certain crates will always give you a random weapon that's one level above your current one. But if it doesn't match your current playstyle, you've got a big choice to make. But either way, I always felt like I was progressing significantly in the game, especially when I was unlocking completely new items to get on the next set of runs. Graphically, the game isn't the greatest, as the perspective is pretty far back, and you really can't see a lot of detail in the environments. While the sets of floors do introduce some new visual elements once you get past a boss, it does still get a bit boring to look at after a while. It needed a little bit more variety. And despite the procedural generation of the floors here, I was running into familiar configurations more often than I wanted to. Neon Chrome is solid in a lot of areas, and I guess the biggest downside I can say about the game is that it never blows me away at any point. A lot of the elements are solid to great, but you're getting more of a balanced package here more than anything else. It's not something you have to drop and get right away, but it is fun to play, and it is able to keep your attention for reasonable periods of time. In short, roguelike top-down shooter fans, you could do a lot worse than Neon Chrome.